Welcome back to episode 2 of the Who Would Have Thought podcast. I'm here with my boy Emilio Espinoza. How you doing?
Good.
And we just want to say thank you for the first episode. We got a lot of great feedback on it, and hence is why we are here today filming the second episode.
I definitely got good feedback on things to improve on, some things that people look forward to, some things that people enjoyed. So it was good to hear that feedback because at first we weren't going to release this. It was just, what kind of for fun.
It was a thought, an idea, and then to fruition. And then honestly, yes, I feel like so many people that I have known, went to school with, I haven't talked to in 5 years, reached out to me and they're like, this is an amazing podcast. Keep doing that. You're talking about things that actually matter and not just money and stuff. So I appreciate the people that reached out. Emilio has set the topic for the second episode, so I'm kind of excited to hear his questions. Briefly went over them, but what topic do you have for today?
Yeah, so a topic that I've wanted to attack for a while or just speak on was kind of honing in on why we dropped out of college. I think it's a largely debated topic now on whether college is beneficial in today's society. And so I wanted to ask some questions on for you, just starting off, what school did you go to? What were you studying? And what made you realize college wasn't for you? I know you explained a little bit last episode, but if you can give them a really quick reminder.
Yeah, so background on me, if you know me, they always say that C students are usually the ones that are really successful because they don't fit inside a box. And I'm not like too sure how it correlates with like an F student or an A student, but they just say in the middle C, like you kind of like don't fit in. You want to do things outside. You don't want to be told what to do, but you still want to figure it out. And I was a C student. A little bit of other grades as well, but yeah, school.
Other grades meaning A's and B's, right?
The opposite end. I was leaning a little bit more towards this. But I also don't think I just applied myself to school because I don't know, I didn't take it serious. And I always told myself with my passion, because I found it so young, like I don't need to know, this mathematical term if I'm doing photography and videography. So that was kind of my thought towards it. But I went to JJC right out of high school, community college. And anyone in this area that knows JJC, you usually go there after. If you're going to a bigger college, it's just smart. You save money on your gen eds and whatnot. So I had a couple friends going there that I graduated high school with, and I wasn't even going for a degree. I was going for my certificate in digital production, because like I wanted to do the fun stuff. I didn't want to do the gen eds, math, English, history. I just got out of high school. Why would I want to go back into that? That was my thought. And I was like, how hard could it be to get in a media production company with a certificate saying I know how to do these certain set of skills, and you're not gonna accept me if I don't know how to do some algebra, problem. That was my thought towards it. And so I did it. I met a lot of great people in the class. Classes were long, 3.5 hours long. I didn't learn anything. I didn't. And there was a moment, I remember it. First week, I'm like so hyped. This is my first thought of college. And it's a community college, so it's like not anything big, but it's college. And I go into the class. I have my camera. And she starts it off. She's like, iPhones will do, like any type of camera will do, and most of the people have iPhones. And this isn't to diss on people who don't have like cameras or anything. This is just to say, like, I walked in there thinking I'm gonna be shooting on like Ari's, like $80,000 cameras, $100,000 cameras, because I'm going to college. Like, you're teaching me to do the real world stuff that I want to do. But then she's like, iPhones, camcorders, anything works. And I just like in the back of my head I was like, this isn't really what I thought I signed up for. And I feel like people can like relate to that so much. When you get to college, like I didn't I didn't think this is what I signed up for. I'm not sure if you had that experience, but you have this expectation and then when it isn't what it is, you're like, I don't it puts your mindset in like I don't know mindset. I feel like a lot of kids are in college right now with the I don't know mindset. I don't know if I should drop out or I don't know if I should continue with this. I don't know if this is the right degree or I should stick with it. I don't know how many kids I talk to that are in that situation.
Not only that, but they're like, I don't even know what I want to do, which is to be expected when you get out of high school. You're 18 and you're told, all right, pick a major and stick with it for 4 years and get a job related to.
I don't know where that came from. Like out of high school, you should know what you want to do with your life. I think knowing what you want to do with your life takes a deep journey into who you are by yourself. Then you'll really find out like what you want to do. Some people still to this day, 35, 40, 50 years old, still don't know what they want to do with their life. That's scary.
How'd you figure, oh, I know what I'm going to get into when I go to school? I'm going to get the certificate in photography.
How did I know I wanted to do that?
Yeah, pursue photography.
I mean, I've been in photography for 11 years, video for 6 to 7 years now. So it's always something that I like saw myself doing. I knew that I had a gift in it. So I was like, this must be what I'm meant for. If I'm good at it and I enjoy it, I don't see it as like, it always starts off as a hobby, but then it turns into passion and then, So a lot of people told me too when I said like I'm going to college for this. You got to get a real job. There's no money in that. Like it's just a hobby. And really discouraged me. Deep down is like someone coming out of high school, like super amped up for college. Oh, I'm doing this. Should be excited I'm going to college and yeah, but that's not an actual degree. It's just,
Yeah, I was similar to you in the fact that when I finished high school, I was kind of scrambling to figure out what I wanted to do. And I knew that I liked marketing. I just loved commercials. I loved social media. I loved ads. And I love that people can. I also love the sales aspect of things too, but there was nothing that could combine the two. So I knew marketing was pretty hot for a major, so I went in for. Or no, I apologize. I was told that cybersecurity make a bunch of money, so I went in my freshman year with the cybersecurity, with the focus going in cybersecurity. Realized how many math and coding classes I did, and I love math, but the mock schedule that I got was insane. And so the first semester I was focusing on gen ed. Second semester I had like 4 or 5 math classes, and then the rest of them were coding classes. And I was like,
that sounds terrible.
yeah, I did not know what I was getting myself. So literally after this second week of my second semester at Illinois State, I went undecided, and that happened.
How did that make you feel when you went undecided? Did it feel like you were taking a step back?
No, because you know what's funny is, so there was 2 days where if you wanted to change your major, you could go. And so there was this hall, and the day was dedicated to whomever wanted to change their major. So I got to see everybody that wanted to change their major. This building was filled with maybe hundreds of kids.
Isn't that crazy?
Hundreds. And so you're just seeing kids go from, whatever jump it was. For me, obviously, I was going undecided, but I was going to see other kids that, and speaking with,
Why do you think that is?
I think they realize they don't know what they're getting themselves into. They're told by their parents, hey, get a job that's going to pay you a lot. And without thinking what goes into it or if you might be a good fit. And I don't necessarily think that you have to be passionate about what you pursue. For me, I'm in sales, and I am a little bit passionate, but I think my competitiveness just drives me to want to excel in that profession. Um, but yeah, I ended up going undecided. Um, Ended my first year, my second semester, COVID happened, so we had to finish everything at home. That was chaos. And then I went to JJC my sophomore year, and I just got my associates in arts,
Mm-hmm.
and went to Grand Valley State because they weren't doing in-state or out-of-state. Um, like I can't think of it, but it was just the same. The price
Mm-hmm.
was the same for both. So
Yeah.
I decided to go there a little farther, go to a different state, and when I went out there, I was just having fun. Truth be told, I was just having fun.
You're living,
Yeah, I
doing
was
the college scene.
college scene, and but I met some really important people in my life that I still talk to this day, who helped me change to start the progression, and maybe help that start believing myself that there's more outside of
That.
the college lifestyle and just outside of what I'm doing.
So there, let's say there's someone dealing with that right now that's in the college scene. They're stuck partying, stuck going out every single weekend, no direction. What would you say to them?
My advice would be, if you get blessed with the opportunity to wake up tomorrow, that you have an opportunity to change your life.
Clip it.
That-
Clip it. You know what this man said in the gym this morning? he goes, I didn't know I had it in me until I looked in the mirror and saw a reflection of myself. Bars in the gym. Bro made me want to turn into Batman.
Yeah, I listen. Literally, my whole For You page is all motivation quotes and things of that sort. So I just love that. I get hyped on that stuff. So, but yeah, I think it's completely true. Whether you're in college, whether you're on the streets, whatever position you were put in is not the position that you need to be in tomorrow. You know, I just wish I could corroborate the image that's in my head to just tell people that you
Isn't that
can.
the hardest thing though?
Yeah, it's like I know what I'm feeling and I know how it can change people, but I'm just trying to
But
try.
you're feeling it. Like
Yeah,
that's you.
yeah,
I can't give my I wouldn't even say motivation, but it is a little bit's motivation. But you want to give your discipline to people.
yeah,
So they can understand and experience what it feels like to have purpose or to chase after your purpose.
yeah,
And this isn't saying like we're better, we're disciplined. It truly comes from a place of love because I know anyone can do it.
yeah,
Truly, anyone can do it. It's just how bad do you actually want it? And the only person you're going against is yourself.
yeah. So going back to the college scene, I started getting a glimpse of what I start to feel now, and
What was that first glimpse? Like what was that like? Testing the waters, dipping your toes in, getting a little wet.
I think I started. Well, I think I started to really feel it in my junior year of college, but I started soccer freshman year just to stay conditioned, playing basketball. I played basketball all my life and just thought that was going to be a sport that I was going to ride for the rest of my life. And I usually tell people that I didn't get the genes to be 6 foot or whatever it is, but I don't believe that height is a really big. I think it's an excuse for people. So basically, I just wasn't good enough at basketball. But I started playing soccer and I really fell in love with soccer. And I think I just constantly grown up in a life where I need to prove people wrong. And so when I went through high school soccer, junior year, I didn't make the varsity team, and that's pretty unheard of. And I remember going to my JV coach, and I was on the verge of crying. I was like, this is crazy, but I did some work, and senior year I made the varsity
I'm the
team.
next Ronaldo. You just missed out, bro.
Yeah. And so I played club at Illinois State, and it was pretty awesome because it's not travel, but it's not recreational. And you're traveling to different schools, playing, high level athletes and things of that sort. And then I went to JJC, made the men's team there. So that was pretty awesome. You can travel, be on coach buses, and like we feel the actual of what it feels like to be on a high level team and play high level sports outside of high school. And so it was kind of like, how you started is not how you have to finish.
Was that your glimpse?
So that was part of the glimpse. And then I played club soccer at Grand Valley State, and they took it to a whole different level out there. They had multiple coaches.
You felt official.
You felt official, more official than I was when I was at community college. And we had a great season, and that and the combination of me and my friends, I was like, there's hope for me to do different things. And yeah, when I did the internship the second year round, I got to almost show the ropes for the people that were new to interning. And I was like, school is great and everything, but I'm seeing how hard these people work in sales, and most of these people don't have a degree or are my first mentor that I got from work or a card in life. He got his degree in recreation, and he's killing it in sales.
Yeah.
So I was like, some of these people aren't even applying what they learn to what they're doing. If I can leave school, get a year of experience or 2 years experience ahead of the incoming class that are for people that are working, I'd rather do that because I'll be making money, learning, and if I get the job,
that was the same exact thought I had.
Yeah.
When I dropped out of college, the reason why I dropped out of college was, one, I didn't feel like I was learning anything. And this isn't to say like this is a know-it-all type of situation, but when my professor is telling me, why are you here in my class, that's a problem. She's like, do you mind if I use your photos and videos to teach the class? And I didn't know what that meant, but then the next lesson I saw my photo up on the board explaining certain things. And she would ask me, hey, do you mind if I submit your photos to photography competition for our college? Do you mind if I do that? And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I would love to do that. And she'll still text me to this day being like, your art's amazing, all this. And I'm super encouraged by her. Shout out Shelly if you're at JJC. But I remember it was the end of the semester. She's like, what are you doing here? I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And then when she told me, like, you should not be here, you should be doing it and pursuing it. And that was kind of like my mindset when I look at kids going into college. If they're really good and super passionate, I'm like, don't go to college. Find someone, find a mentor, get under their belt, work a little bit, do an internship, see if you actually like it before paying $150,000 for a degree in that field. Test the waters, and if you're really good at it, then you'll start making money, and from there you're not starting from $150,000 in debt and working your way to zero. You're starting at zero and working your way up to 150,000 profit.
Yep.
So that was my kind of start. I didn't want to pay student loans to do my craft, especially because back then, 10 years ago, photography was not as profitable as it is now, especially with social media. So I was like, I need to start now. I gotta start doing this. So when everyone else graduates college and they're starting their journey and starting to make money off of their hobby or their passion, I'm already making this. I'm ahead of them. I'm ahead of the game after college. So that's kind of why I decided to drop out. And when my parents said, how are you going to make money? I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. You put push your back up against the wall, you only have one thing to do is figure it out, or you fail, and that's not an option.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. So I think people have, and it's reasonable, but people have a doubt in their mind to put their backs up against the wall because they don't know the unknown, and the unknown is so scary because there's so much doubt.
You hit on so many things I want to just dive into, but
I
also want to keep the topic relevant.
The college.
Yeah, the most exciting question that I'm excited to ask in this part of the episode is, did your learning and or education stop when you dropped out of college?
To clarify for the viewers, what knowledge are we talking? Book smart? Like, are we talking college education? Was I learning more on how to be proper with my English, my literature, read books? Or are you talking, did my knowledge of photography stop? In what sense? Just so to clarify.
Yeah, my clarification would be all of the above.
All the above.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to hone in specifically, I mean, clearly your education did not stop. If you got to clarify which segment or which part of that, I mean, you decided to continue education. It seems like in multiple different forms. Let's start with photography. Did your learning stop in photography?
So the learning comes when you can't learn if you're in the same environment.
Ooh, like that.
And what made me learn and pushed me to learn, I was forced to learn. Because when you're put in an environment you're not used to, you have to learn. It's the only thing you do. You're not gonna, let's say, I don't even know this metaphor, but let's say, how am I trying to put this? Like, let's say you live in the city, right? And you just move there. And you have to get to work. You don't have a phone. You're going to have to find a way to work. You're going to have to ask people, hey, how do I get here? Oh, usually I take this route. Okay, so I'm going to try this route. And you got there. But maybe the next day you found a route that's a little bit quicker off of what that person said. And then maybe you found a train that gets there faster. You're putting yourself in scenarios where you have to figure out the solution. When you're in the same environment, you know what A plus B equals. So there's no change. That was the same thing for photography. I had to figure out, when I started my photography and really started making money off of it, I needed to learn how to do the business side of things. Because that's one thing most creatives lack, is the business side. I can create really cool art, really cool videos, but if I can't pitch it to you right, if I can't sell it to you and deliver a system or a process for my art to get to you and have that customer support and rapport, then it's like saying this. I always tell people when they price packages, and this is something I've learned, as the business side of things. How would you like this? And I feel like you're gonna like this because you're a sales guy. Most creatives, this is how they pitch. I can make you a really cool video with a lot of transitions, really nice color grade. $1,000. Or I'm gonna make you a curated video custom to your brand that will drive your sales. Not only drive sales, but leave an impression on your brand that's super impactful. But not only am I going to do that, I'm going to give you a pre-shoot meeting so you'll know the communication beforehand of the shoot is on 10. And on the day of the shoot, everything will go according to plan because we talked about it. And after that, I'll have another meeting with you just to make sure everything's clear. $1,000. Which one are you going with?
Paying $50,000 for that custom one, taking out a loan.
Exactly. It's all how you word it, psychology. And this is just one of the many things that I've learned doing. I haven't taken a course. I haven't spent money on, a mentor. This is just something you learn when doing what you are doing. You know what I mean? I feel like the biggest problem nowadays is people think that they're doing something. Oh, I'm going to watch 30 YouTube videos on how to do this, thinking that they're doing the thing. I'm going to take in all this information. I'm going to learn. And then they never do the thing that they learned.
I love that. I can't remember what podcast it is, but he gets on there and says, thinking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Doing research about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Talking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is going out, taking action, and actually doing the thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So simple. But yet so many people, I have fallen short of it. I have done it. I guarantee you've done it. We all do it. It's human nature. But you're not doing the thing if you're not doing the thing. Simple line in the Bible, and we'll get biblical. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Theo Vaughn too. Yeah, I agree.
What about your college thing? What was did your knowledge stop, or did your learning stop from college? And I hope I answered that.
That you answered that very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm answering the questions that he's giving me. I just go really deep into them, and I try to get a lesson out of them. But
no, those were great answers.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'd say if anything, my learning grew more. If anything, it was just intentional. It was intentional in the things that I was learning. I was learning through cold calls, what worked, what didn't work, how to qualify a client, how to ask the proper questions, how to.
Would you say learning by failure is the best?
Yeah, I think that's the only. I mean, I'd honestly say that's probably what actually learning is.
Bars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm sure, as a doctor, there's different ways of failing.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
obviously you don't
learning.
As a doctor.
Yeah,
we lost another one.
Oh,
darn.
Yeah. So there's different ways of learning, but for me, I was learning through failure. Yeah. I think the biggest thing was rejection.
How do you take that though? Because most people don't take failure they take it in a sense of, I should stop doing this if I failed.
Yeah, it hurt my pride a little bit, just because when I came into the floor, I had two internship experiences on different levels of sales, so I was already ahead of the game compared to my peers. But I knew it was just a numbers thing. Anything in sales, it's a numbers game.
Dude, I hear so many people though say sales is not a numbers game.
I think that's fair. However, in the beginning, you know what they say, in order for you to work smarter, you have to work hard for you to know what smart is. So in the beginning, it's a contact sport. You're
not a master in your craft until you put 10,000 hours in.
Correct. So for someone that says it's not a numbers game and they think that they can make 100 sales calls and get over 50% success rate, I think it's pretty. If you haven't practiced that sales pitch on an actual prospect or client, it's just something that takes so much time. What do they say? In order for you to master something, you have to practice 10,000 hours. So for someone to say sales is not a numbers game and not spend hours constantly on the phone, email, or perfecting their craft, it's hard. It's hard to, but to each their own. Their own. I believe it's a experience thing, and for me to get the experience, I have to learn rejection.
To the Emilio starting just in the beginning of having that versus Emilio now, what would you say the percentage was back then versus now?
It's such a great question. I'd probably say it's
let's say we're talking maybe realistically, maybe you do 50 a day, maybe, even if
I was doing 60 to 75 reach outs.
Okay, 60 to 70. Let's say 70, just an even number. What was the percentage back then versus now, you think?
Probably 2 or 3. I'm closing 2 or 3 out of those 75, if that.
Back then?
Yeah, I was So something about me is on my first 3 months of me getting my job, I got a PIP.
Explain what that is.
Perfect. A PIP stands for Performance Improvement Plan. It is given to those who are underperforming the
Emilio
projections.
underperforming? What?
Dude, when I went in, it was kind of bad because the market was so bad in logistics. I got a PIP 3 months into the floor, and I was so competitive. They gave you numbers that you had to hit,
Quota.
MPIs, yeah, quotas and stuff like that. And I was like, I told my manager, I was laughing. I was like, I'm gonna double all of these, and that's exactly what I did. three
You got
months.
some balls saying that,
Dude,
bro.
I have no idea what was in me because my manager said the same thing. He's like, "You're crazy that like you were underperforming, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna double all these."
Homie's back got put against the wall. He's like, nah, I'm not just going for the standard. I'm gonna double this.
That's lit. So you were just talking about that. Yeah, I'm someone like you put my back against the wall. I that's where I perform best.
Well, give the people a little insight why your back was against the wall. Like if you got fired,
Oh, dude, no. There wasn't like if you got fired. There wasn't because that was not even a thought in my head. If I got fired, it was I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I double, not just exceed these quotas, but to double them. And you asked me like what the difference is when I started and where I'm at now.
yeah, percentage wise.
Yeah, percentage. To put something in perspective, when you do great with clients, and I'm sure you have this all the time, they give you referrals. So
Your clients start
I don't
working
even
for
have to
you.
sell for me. Yeah, for my clients, the best thing is that my clients refer or sell for me. So instead of me doing 75 reach outs, I'll do half of that, and maybe I'll close 3 to 4 on the 30, but I'll also get another 3 from clients I'm currently moving with. So
That's where work smarter, not harder.
exactly.
You need to work hard in order how to smart.
Yeah, and I was going from saying whatever I wanted to on the phone and over emails to now saying exactly like customized emails or customized approaches to a specific individual based on their hierarchy of the company. And so for me, I would just call them and just be like, "Hey, this is me. Look, hey, this is me." And I'd be like, "Why is people hanging up on me?" I'm just a man. I'm just a chill guy.
All right.
Well, before we close it out, my last question is: do you believe college is necessary in today's society? We'll get a quick answer for that before we close out.
Do I believe college is necessary? Depends who you are. Depends. Is it for everyone? No. Everyone sees it. It's not for everyone. Is it becoming less and less needed? 100%. But they say that college just shows an employer that you showed up every single day for 4 years straight. If you can do that, they're probably going to want you because you can show up at their job every single day for 4 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So I feel like the piece of paper just shows you, okay, you can show up to work. Not saying how hard do you work, but saying how you show up every single day. What were you doing in college? I don't know. And that's the one thing too. How does employers know what you did in college? What if you showed up every single day for 4 years straight, but you partied every single night? It's not for everyone. I know that. I can tell just by looking at you and knowing you. It's not for you. It's not for me.
I'm going to stop you real quick. I honestly argue that a college student partying helps them being an employee. Well, the simulation and crossover from them going to work, a lot of what you see is people looking forward to the weekend so that way they can use their paycheck to go to the bar and use up that paycheck for them to get back into the swing of things, not look forward to Monday and continue to be a W-2 employee.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
And that isn't to say, again, we really want to hit home and reiterate, this is not to tear people down, or if you are that person, or if you are stuck in that you can't get out of it. The whole point of this podcast is to talk about those struggles and to encourage you that that isn't the only path that you have to do. There are other ways, and other people are doing it more than ever today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
I
agree.
really want to make that clear, that we're not here bashing people if you are living that lifestyle. Do we agree with it? No. I'm going to put a hard stance on that. Does that mean I'm better than you? No. We're all sinners. We're all going to be judged one day by God. When it comes to Judgment Day, He's not going to say, you went and partied all these years and you didn't do that. He's going to judge you in your own way on how you live your life. So, really want to make that clear.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you have the money to go to college and you really know what you want to do, I think it's a great idea. I think if you're unsure,
That's a
there's
good, yeah. I would 100 agree. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. I would agree with that.
yeah. I think if you're unsure and money isn't really looking to add up, I think there's a lot of other alternatives to still seeing success in the life that you want to see, being able to give back to your parents, being able to give back to the people that helped you, being able to financially set up freedom for yourself. I do think college and schooling is necessary for doctors, professions of lawyers.
I know, I've seen so many stuff like, does a doctor really have to go to medical school for 18 years? I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like, just let's be logistical.
Yeah.
Or logical, not even logistical, just logical.
Yeah.
You're not trusting a doctor that didn't go to college. Don't care how cheap he is.
Yeah, imagine you rolled up. He said, "ChatGPT got me through the whole entire school."
Hey Siri, how do you fix this?
Hey Siri, listen to this client symptoms.
Hey yo, Siri, what are you doing? All right. But no, that is a good point with ending off on the podcast. Reiterate, college could be for you if you have your money figured out. You know what you want to do. You're passionate about what you want to do. And I think that's the biggest indicator. You have to be passionate about what you want to do with your degree. Most people, they know what they want to do, but they're not passionate about it. That's why they end up in the same situation that you did. They switch their degree because either they're not passionate about it or they're passionate about it, but they don't know what they got themselves into until they join the class. So you make a great point. Passionate about it, your money's right, you see a actual future career, but if not, then there's other ways around college and the system.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the second episode. Stay tuned for the third episode that should be dropping whenever this one comes out and we get that one filmed.
You want to drop some heat on the people before we close out?
Drop some heat on the people. Man, you put me on the spot with this.
Yeah, well, you put me on a sales call spot, so that's the least I could do.
Okay. Heat in what area? In what area? You gotta give me an area, because I could get heat anywhere. I'll freaking bring the sun down.
Yeah, you will. Something that you've heard recently that's just been on your mind, or the education related.
Biggest thing, I'm gonna go biblical, and this was taught in church Sunday, and this is something I've been in reading my Bible with. Dude, just read the book of Proverbs. It's all about wisdom. All about wisdom. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9:10. And what that means is, Pastor Scott was talking about it, was really fast before we wrapped up. The word fear does not mean I'm scared of God. The word fear means reverent to God. I know how much authority he holds. And as a respect, it's a respect thing. So, wanting to pursue God and wanting to gain wisdom, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's what I'm going to leave it off as.
Wow. Thank you. Episode 2 closed.